Yeah, like as I said, there is no better time to be an Arsenal fan than now. 2022-2023 season was it's going to be a season that Arsenal fans will remember as the season that produced more joy, more excitement, more noise than any other thing for the team. And there's beginning to get this feeling of okay, they can go for the league title and the Europa. I've always said that Arsenal, having got 19 years without winning the league, let's say for instance, they put their both eggs in one basket and lose both of them, people will not understand. So I'm of the opinion that the Premier League look more winnable. I'm not saying I'm not interested in Europa, but the Premier League look more winnable than the Europa. And if they go on to win the Premier League and lose the Europa, it would be great because it would have broken the 19-year hurdle of waiting. So for me, I think that they should focus on that. And a lot of other people will say, what about Napoli, who is chasing the league title as well as chasing the UEFA Champions League and playing their team of strength in both competitions? The thing is, Napoli have 18-point gap over their chasing rival, and the rivals, they're all cancelling themselves out. Arsenal is being chased by a team, a bullet train that has lost control. So by a team that when they are not even playing well, referees, VAR can help them get penalties and they pick up all 3 points. So it's a different thing. And two lost game and Man City winning, irrespective of the situation. Arsenal have gone out of the top position, and then there are not too many games. There are 11 games more to go. Quite a few teams to play on the road. There is still Liverpool to go play away from home. There is Man City to play away from home, and a few, tricky away games. It seems like all the home matches remaining before the end of the season are winnable games, but then, in the Premiership, no game is winnable. Manchester United would have thought that Southampton is a winnable game today, but after picking up 1 point, they'll be celebrating, considering the fact that Casemiro got a very early red card, and they still ended up, dropping points in that game, picking up 1 point to look at 8-point game. Aston Villa, playing against West Ham, I thought that game when Oli Watkins scored that beautiful goal, and I talked about that goal, my friend here, and the first thing I said to him is, as beautiful as that header from Oli Watkins, you must give credit to the man who crossed the ball all the way from the left-hand side to pick up a teammate in the sea of heads, about 3 defenders, and pick up a teammate pinpoint with such a pinpoint accuracy of a cross. Look like what a David Beckham or Marco Vermas would do, or probably Ian Robben and the rest of them, or Odegaard Johnson, or Andrea Kaczewski in his Manchester United days. You should give him credit. But I'm going to focus a whole lot on the Arsenal game today and the tactics that is working. Kind of like Man City team wearing Arsenal jersey in some way, the way they play, right? I'm going to explain a few things from my own observation. I'm not saying I know it all in this regard, but I'm just going to explain some things from my own observation, and I will need your opinion on it. While we're saying that, do you agree with me that Arsenal should focus 100% on the Premier League and just play the Reece Nelson, the reserve players in the Europa Cup, wherever they get eliminated, it is fine by everybody? Or you join the other school of thought that says, if Napoli can do it, Arsenal should also do it. Focus on the league and focus on the Europa and play to win both of them, because they are the only 2 competitions that they are in. They already they didn't go far in the Carabao Cup. They already been eliminated in the FA Cup. They're 14 times winner of the FA Cup. What do they really have to push there? And look at the players of Arsenal. I will try. I don't have a touch screen, but I'll try project my laptop to my TV screen, and I'll try make some very, very comparison. Okay, some comparison that I would want you guys to look at and consider and see. It seems like since Arteta left Man City, it took a chunk of what Pep Guardiola's team looked like, brought it to Arsenal, increase their movement a lot more, and then also their commitment and dedication is higher. Pumping probably injected a dose of hunger. I don't know. I like to postulate that the Amazon Prime Video have helped Arsenal to become a better team, because I think that the players keep going back to watch that thing and see, oh, this is where we missed it. This is what happened 10 games at the end of last season. We could have made it to top 4, but we lost 5 of the 10 games against Crystal Palace, against Southampton, Tottenham Hotspur, two other teams that I can't remember right now. Newcastle 3-0 and one other team that I can't remember right now. And all of that, I think Brighton at home also. Those are the games that eventually made them not to make the top four. Not necessarily because of Spurs' form. And so that could be playing in their head. I remember when Arteta took the speakers to the training ground. I was playing "You'll Never Walk Alone," and then they went to our field. They still got beaten. They got bashed. So all of that must be playing in their head. And when they look at those clips and they say, "Never again would this ever happen." Remember when Barcelona beat Jose Mourinho's Real Madrid 5-1 or 5-0, and Mourinho said, "Never again would this happen," and exactly that was what happened. I think that this has helped the players, but then the players that he's brought on. I remember in the January transfer window, or probably the end last summer, when the signings were done and we missed out on not getting Rafinha and one other player, one other striker, everybody said that Edu can get the big deals across the line. And because we live in an era where you have to sign players for 100 and something million, you have to sign 80 million and above or 75 million and above, then that's statement. But when I look at the Arsenal team, the players that have come in, apart from probably Jacob Kivior, who's played only one game, every other player have had great impact. Zinchenko has brought in zest, guile, craft, everything, and hunger, passion into the team. Gabriel Jesus, the 5 goals he scored before he went out injured and coming back today again, and the assist that he created and everything also brought a different dimension and dynamics to the team, or probably also helped the attacking players to raise their game. And players like Martin Odegaard, who first came in on loan and then before the deal became permanent. I've also brought leadership that is lacking. Remember the last 12 years of Arsene Wenger, people always said that the problem of Arsenal was the fact that they have a soft underbelly. There is no leaders in the team, even with Fabregas and the rest of them and Van Persie, that they were lacking in leadership, that when push comes to shove, they always come short. You look at this team, there is a fine mix, a fine blend of experience, the experience of Granit Xhaka. Well, I mean, 2 seasons ago or 3 seasons ago, this was the guy that we all wanted out of the team. I remember that October when he, F up the fans, threw the captain, the jersey on the floor, the captain's armband on the floor. Everybody wanted him out. But he's not a pillar of the team with his experience. Kind of like a Gilberto Silva. Not really in that mode, but kind of like a Gilberto Silva that goes forward and also run to the flag. Thomas Partey is not Patrick Vieira. But is a chunk, a little bit of Patrick Vieira, a little bit of Makalele, not really an N'Golo Kante because he doesn't run that much. But it's kind of like have the ability to read the game so much so that he knows where the ball is coming to. And another thing that I've worked for Arsenal, I can't remember Arsenal ever going this long with the same center pair without red card displacing them, without injuries displacing them. That's also been very, very fine. And some players that doesn't get the credit that they deserve, players like Ben White, for all of the work that he does. And you look at Arsenal. If Arsenal goes on to win this title, for instance, this will be the youngest team to ever win the Premier League. I think there was a Chelsea team that was the youngest team that won the Premier League. I can't remember what year. But you look at this team, you see all that. But let's look at some of the things that have worked for Arsenal. As I try to, work on the players' movement, the screen is not going to move, but you're just going to follow me and see how we go on that. And I think that plus the spirit, the passion and desire. And remember, a lot of people attack Arsenal for celebrating every win. And I've always said that movement is point A to point B, starting point to destination. Now, if you wait till you get to your destination before you celebrate, you just might get there and be in tears. So sometimes you've got to enjoy the moments in between, from point A, from the starting point to the destination. So for people like Gary Neville and all of those guys who think that Arsenal celebrating is a crime, well, I've got bad news for you, or probably good news for you. But bad news for you, but good news from us, because we will celebrate every win. It is important to us. We've waited for 19 years. So if we're winning like this, I can't remember the last time Arsenal, will be this far in the season and we've lost only 3 games, drawn only 3 games. So let the Arsenal fans celebrate because they've been in the butt of everybody's joke for a very long time. Okay? So let's look at the Arsenal team a little bit. And if you're not seeing me, just look at the screen. You see, this man here, Ben White, has been a magical player in the team. He was meant to be playing in the middle. Saliba came in. Some other players will be angry that they are not playing in their natural position, but he took this position perfectly well, and he's added value to the team because what he does is He's played it so well, triangulating with Odegaard and Bukayo Saka in such a way that now when you watch them play, Bukayo Saka does not need to run back like he used to do. He just has to shuttle between this place, and it's fine for him because there's Odegaard to also cover up for him. Then there is Thomas Partey. Once Odegaard goes, Thomas Partey fills this void. And then these two players, William Saliba and Gabriel, know how to really position themselves. Now, that's not the biggest plus in the Arsenal team. This man no longer have to battle with breaking play because there's this man already breaking play for him. So he can join Martinelli, give him support. He can join Trossard, giving him support. Remember when people said that Martinelli has tired out because he's played too many games. But what really happened was the fact that Martinelli was playing with a Gabriel Jesus that was full of running, in this area was going here, and making it easy for him to move. And then Eddie Nketiah came in, a true centre forward. I don't want to blame him. A true centre forward who just hang on the shoulder of the last man, hoping for loose ball or probably through ball and whatever. But that didn't happen, too often. But he scored his fair share of goals. It's part of the reason why Arsenal are still on top of the league. Now, Trossard came in. Trossard can, play the first nine perfectly well. He's slotted into this Arsenal team like he's been playing with them all his life, and he's not struggled at all with adapting to the team. And then as well, you look at the fact that they both can exchange position at any given time. The same with Saka and Odegaard and all that. So that has worked very well. This man, Thomas Partey, doesn't run very well. Doesn't run like every other defensive midfielder in the Premier League. But what he does is he reads the game well. A bit of Vieira, a bit of Makalele, and a bit of Yaya Toure. In my opinion, Yaya Toure is the best defensive midfielder to ever play in the Premier League. If I'm wrong, you can point somebody out. That's my opinion about it. So this is work for them. Another thing that has worked well for Arsenal is this man. This man has become a very key player. I'm struggling right now to pick who's my player of the season for Arsenal, but if you know, you can vote your player of the season. I think what this guy does is what Jack Cancelo did for Man City last season, and he studied the man very well because naturally he's a midfielder, plays as a midfielder for Ukraine. So he goes in here, set up play, goes in here, break play, comes back here, giving those true passes everywhere. So he adds an extra body to the team. And then one of the things that Arsenal does that people don't give them credit for is their ability to recover the ball very, very fast in the vital area of the opposition. So when the opposition breaks play and you think that they are going to start a quick counter-attack, Arsenal is there again, trapping them in, pressing them very fast and receiving the ball and then recycling it back to themselves. Those are some of the things that have worked for them, plus the zeal of the manager. You could tell that these players are playing for the manager and they want to win for the manager as well. You can join your thought in the comment section and let me know what you think, but this is what I think have worked for Arsenal in my own opinion. So as I end my take on the weekend game, I want to say congratulations once again to every Arsenal fan out there. Congratulations. Yesterday we talked about Napoli, to Victor Osimhen and his teammate as far as Stella. They've been doing really well. Will be a nice one again to see. In 2016, when Leicester City won the Premier League, Cleveland Cavaliers with LeBron James also won the NBA, and it was a year where different teams were winning it. And it will be beautiful again to see Arsenal come back and win. They've won the Premier League only 3 times in the Premier League era. I think in totally they've won the English League 14 times. It will be good to have number 15. Now, this is a question that I'm going to put out before I go. If Arsenal ends up in May winning this league, we know that April is going to be like the most difficult period for Arsenal because there are 6 matches in April, and those matches are big matches. And that's why I felt bad yesterday, because if Man City have dropped points and Arsenal have gone on to win today, the advantage will be more than 5, would be 7, and it'll be a good cushion going into April. Now, let's say Arsenal hypothetically wins in April. Would you say this victory, this title win, is better than any of the previous 3 won by Wenger, including the unbeaten season? Remember, we ended up in 87 points in the unbeaten season. They say that young players cannot win your title. I don't know any Premier League team that have won the league using players as young as the ones we have in attack. I don't think anybody's ever had an attack line that have Martinelli, Eddie Nketiah, Trossard, Gabriel Jesus, and Bukayo Saka leading them with a captain like Odegaard. So if Arsenal go on to win this title, would you pick it as the best title win of the Premier League era? It will be the 4th Premier League title won, the 15th overall. Would you pick this as the best Premier League title win ever. I like the 97-98 season where Anelka came in, displaced and Wright, was injured and led us to the double. That was a beautiful one. I love the unbeaten run, of course, because it was unique. But if I was picking between those two, I would always pick the 97-98 season for some very, very beautiful and obvious reason. But which title win would you classify the best for you if this Mikel Arteta's team go on to win the title at the end of the season? Thank you very much for subscribing and for dropping comments on our content. Help us with membership, with super chat, and whatever way you can support us so that we can produce a lot more content for you. Bye. Once again, my name is Idafe Matthews. You love to comment on Sports.